The war of words between the BJP and the Trinamool Congress, with the Prime Minister and the Bengal Chief Minister holding rallies within less than 30 kilometers of each other.
ভোটের আগে কে কে করে চিল্লাচ্ছে মনে রাখবেন কেটা হচ্ছে মাথা মাছের আর লেজাটা হচ্ছে এনআরসি এখন কি বলছে পুরোহিত লিখে দিলেই হবে কোন আইনে আছে আর যখনই আপনি নাম লেখালেন সঙ্গে সঙ্গে আপনি বাংলাদেশী হয়ে গেলেন অর্থাৎ আপনি লক্ষ্মীর ভান্ডার পাবেন না আপনি কন্যাশ্রী পাবেন না আপনি ভোট দিতে পারবেন না আপনার নাগরিক অধিকার থাকবে না আপনার সরকারি অধিকার থাকবে না এটা ভালো না খারাপ নিজেরা বুঝে নিন আর যেই ডিটেনশন করবে করে আসামে এখনো আছে ডিটেনশন ক্যাম্প করে রেখে দেবে যেখানে আপনাদের বিদেশি বলে চিহ্নিত করা হবে
इन्होंने राजवंशी नामशूद्र और मतुआ साथियों की कभी परवाह नहीं की लेकिन आज जब बीजेपी सरकार सीएए लेकर आई है तो ये अफवाहें फैला रहे हैं मां भारती पर आस्था रखने वाले हर परिवार को नागरिकता देना ये मोदी की गारंटी है मैं पश्चिम बंगाल के हर परिवार से कहूंगा ये टीएमसी वाले वामपंथ वाले डराएंगे
The Citizenship Amendment Act notification announced on the eve of elections is likely to be a key election issue in North Bengal, where the BJP performed well in 2019. And both Narendra Modi and Mamata Banerjee mentioned it in their rallies held just a few hours and around 30 kilometers apart. The Prime Minister also brought up the Sandesh Khali issue, which the BJP believes can damage the TMC in these elections. This on a day the Calcutta High Court came down strongly on the ruling dispensation in West Bengal over the Sandesh Khali allegations, where it said, assuming even one affidavit is correct, it is shameful. The entire district administration and the ruling dispensation have to own 100% moral responsibility.
पूरे बंगाल ने पूरे देश ने देखा है कि कैसे टीएमसी सरकार ने संदेश खाली के गुनहगारों को बचाने के लिए पूरी ताकत लगा दी संदेश खाली की महिलाओं के साथ जो हुआ वो टीएमसी के अत्याचार की पराकाष्ठा थी
The TMC upped its ante on pending dues and its demand for a white paper on Manrega and Awas Yojana dues to Bengal. Mamata Banerjee took it further by comparing the BJP to a snake as the Prime Minister took on the TMC over corruption.
মনে রাখবেন আপনি কেউটে সাপকেও বিশ্বাস করতে পারেন অ্যাট লিস্ট পোষ মানাতে পারেন কখনো কখনো যারা সাপুরে পোষ মানাতে পারে কিন্তু বিজেপি পার্টিকে জীবনে বিশ্বাস করবেন না লোকের বাড়ি থেকে ইডি টাকা তুলে নিয়ে আসছে আর বিজেপি পার্টিকে দিয়ে দিচ্ছে বলছে ইডির টাকা জনগণকে দেবো গরিব জনগণকে আমি বলি দিয়েছো আজ পর্যন্ত কত পাবে জনগণ ওই টাকা তুললে 21 টাকা করে আপনাদের 21 টাকা চাই না দেশ বাঁচাতে চাই
जिन्होंने आपको लूटा है उनको सजा होनी चाहिए कि नहीं होनी चाहिए जिन्होंने भ्रष्टाचार किया है उनको जेल में जाना चाहिए कि नहीं जाना चाहिए ये पैसा आपका है किसी को लूटने का अधिकार नहीं है और ये इनको बचाने के लिए ये जांच में रोड़े अटकाते हैं और दिन रात मोदी को गालियां देते हैं ये चाहते हैं कि पश्चिम बंगाल में भ्रष्टाचार तोलाबाजी खून खराबे की राजनीति ऐसे ही चलती रहे मैं कहता हूं भ्रष्टाचार हटाओ वो कहते हैं भ्रष्टाचारी बचाओ.
North Bengal votes in the first phase on April 19th and the BJP wants to repeat its 2019 performance. The TMC wants to regain lost ground and not let the BJP grow further in Bengal, which is why both the BJP and TMC are locked in such an intense battle in North Bengal where both parties have a point to prove. With camera person GD Shankar, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
All right, so it's a huge battle. It's an out-and-out battle. The poll bugle has been sounded in Bengal with Mamata taking on the Prime Minister. Joining us now, Dr. Shatrupa of the BJP, Riju Datta of the Trinamool Congress, my former colleague Mamata Banerjee and Nishtha Gautam, another senior journalist. Thank you all very much for being with us. So this part of this program, we're going to be looking at the war of words between the two. Dr. Shatrupa, to you first. Mamata Banerjee says, or has claims that as soon as one registers under the Citizenship Amendment Act, one will be deemed to be from Bangladesh and that people will lose all basic rights. That's what Mamata Banerjee said. How would you respond?
Vishnu, firstly, I know you understand Bengali, like the rest of the panelists do. She's been using abusive words on the PM. And it's such low words that I can't even repeat. It's below me. Having said that, she has been repeatedly saying about CAA. She's convinced that the NRC is being attached, although nobody said that the NRC is coming right now or even ever. And the Home Minister has gone on record clarifying each and every single detail. But yet she's stuck on her sad story, and she's even claiming that the moment the people who have to enroll, I mean the app that has come up. The moment you enroll, she's scaring these people that you're going to lose your citizenship. You will not get your Lokhi Bhandar. You will not get any of the state facilities, so-called facilities that she offers. And she's basically scaring these people who have actually no idea of what's going on, despite the fact that the Home Minister has clarified and our leaders have also gone around clarifying. That's one. Number two is this entire the narrative that she's putting up and repeatedly putting up is making her very clearly anti Bharat, I would say, because CAA is a Citizenship Amendment Act which very clearly claims, and it's been very clearly clarified, that the refugees who have come will be granted citizenship. Not a single soul who is living in India is going to be, thrown out of the country or refused citizenship. And the last thing that I want to say is the question of the certain Muslims getting citizenship, that also has been clarified by the Honorable Home Minister, that the infiltrators who have come for a certain period of time, even if they want to apply, they are most welcome to. It is just that they will not be able to apply through this app. You know very well there are 3 normal conditions of applying for citizenship.
Okay.
They can jolly well do that.
All right, Dr. Shatrupa, you've made lots of points. Let me go across to Riju. Riju, reply to what she says, but just on another point, the Prime Minister today said the CAA is being tarred to remove attention from corruption. Right? He said this without naming Mamata Banerjee directly, but that was one point that he said. And yet, Mamata Banerjee repeatedly bringing up lots of points on the CAA. Dr. Shatrupa says that all of these have been clarified. How would you respond?
First of all, let me say it very clearly that the CAA is nothing but a Chunavi Jumla that has been peddled by the BJP and none other than the Honorable Prime Minister of the country. Secondly, Prime Minister might have convinced their spokespersons of the CAA, but he has failed to convince his own Rajya Sabha MP from Kuch Bihar, Mr. Nagendranath Rai, or commonly known as Anant Maharaj, who yesterday went on a TV channel and said that the BJP has done nothing for the people of the Rajbangshi community, or they have only empty promises and rhetorics for the Rajbangshi community, and they are not serious about CAA. That is BJP's Rajya Sabha MP. Secondly, BJP shipping minister in Modi cabinet, Shantanu Thakur, yesterday from a public stage says, I will make sure nobody who supports TMC will get CAA. Can you imagine? So who is threatening who? The question is, in Bengal, Everyone is a citizen of this country. The papers that Mr. Narendra Modi has, every citizen of Bengal has those same papers. So CAA is a farce in Bengal, and we are not going to let it be implemented. Neither it has any value in Bengal. As simple as that. They can try their Chunavi Jumlas, but it is not going to work. Point number one. Second, when you asked me the question that PM Modi said that, we are opposing CA because we want to move away from, all the corruption that has happened. The largest party in the world has all the corruption in their party. The corruption that Pradhan Mantri talks about has recruited all the corruption in their party. And there was an article on NDTV, I believe yesterday or a day before, where it was clearly said that 25 or 28 people who have joined the BJP, all the high-profile people who were, accused of corruption by the BJP High Command, 23 of them have been replaced by ED and CBI.
Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. But just to the other point, Riju, of the language used by Mamata Banerjee, it was fairly shocking. The Amit Malviya came out with statements. He tweeted out things saying that the use of this language was unfortunate. Does the Trinamool regret it? That there were some words which were used which were inappropriate.
There was one word that was used by Mamata Banerjee. It was a slip of tongue, and on stage, as soon as that word came out of her mouth, on stage, I'm sure NDTV has the video, she clarified and said, I am sorry that word came out of my mouth, I take it back. What else do you want us to do?
All right, Dr. Shotrupa, that answers that question of the use of language, right? But go ahead and reply to what he says about CA. Dr. Shotrupa, go ahead.
I'm sorry, it does not justify. Mamata Banerjee keeps on saying this. This time she's probably used one word. She keeps body shaming the Honorable Home Minister. She keeps abusing the Honorable Prime Minister. Monidipadi will tell you, and you also know, Vishnu, that we don't use, tui to kari. We don't say tui eta diyechish. We always use apni ba tumi. Mamata Banerjee has been going on record saying tui taka dishni. She's talking about the Prime Minister like. So whatever Riju might justify about the Chief Minister, they are only busy.
No, but by the same token,
blame.
there have been question marks which have been raised about in the last assembly elections on how the Prime Minister referred to Mamata Banerjee when he tried to break into Bengali as well.
He did nothing,
So that's how it has been interpreted. So one side versus the other.
Come in, please.
The Didi or Didi comments have been seen to be something which were possibly against your interests. They were interpreted as being perhaps rude to the West Bengal Chief Minister. That's how some have interpreted it.
No, Vishnu. This is definitely not comparable. We always call the women of Bengal Didi. I mean, even I get referred as Didi. I'm sure Monidipadi has also heard Didi. So this is something that they want to keep on, giving it a different angle.
Okay, Shotrupa, fine. I get your point. Let me go to Riju before I go across to my journalist friends.
Please allow me just one line.
Yeah.
You see, they are so busy. 1 second, please allow me 1 minute.
All right, okay. 1 second. Let me set the rules. Shotrupa, you've got 20 seconds. Then Riju, you've got about 40 seconds. I'll try and balance time. Shotrupa, continue with your point.
Trinamool has this perception, only Mamata Banerjee's honor and respect matters, nobody else's does. They keep on accusing Dilip Ghosh of talking out of line. They keep on body shaming Shubhendu Adhikari. They keep on talking things like that he's a clown, he wants to get married. I mean, is this even parliamentary?
Okay, all right. Okay, you made your point. Riju, go ahead. Riju, you've got about 40 seconds. Please start.
Yes. Actually, I won't need 40 seconds also. What Mamata Banerjee said on stage, she took her word back and she apologized for the same. No. My question is, if Didi is not bad to you, even though the Prime Minister catcalled the only woman Chief Minister in the country, will you defend your leader of opposition? And you have been talking about Monidipadi, the leader of opposition of Bengal, calls the Chief Minister, who is elder to him, by her first name from stage after stage, rally after rally. That shows the BJP's upbringing. That shows Shubhendu Adhikari's family culture. And you talked about Dilip Ghosh. Forget TMC. What TMC talks about Dilip Ghosh being a habitual offender, abusing Ma Durga to Mamata Banerjee. It is the BJP who so-called Dilip Ghosh, and it is the Election Commission of India who has so-called Dilip Ghosh. So that shows how repeat offenders and verbal, while spewing misogynist people you have in the BJP, from Subhendu to Dilip Ghosh.
Okay, all right. Okay, both of you wait now. You've had your time on this. I want to bring up some statistics, go across to Monideepa and Nishtab. And this is actually about where the BJP and the Trinamool were last time around in the elections. Let's start looking from 2014 onwards in the Lok Sabha election, because it is a fairly staggering rise or growth for the BJP in West Bengal. Irrespective of what the Trinamool says, they would be worried. So let's bring up those graphics. Graphic number 4. The total number of seats in Bengal, 42. If you look at 2014, quite a few years back, the Trinamool was the dominant party. 34 seats. The BJP could muster only 2. Mamata Banerjee, entirely unbeatable then. She, many would suggest, is still very, very strong. But to what extent is the question? Look at vote share over there. The BJP was only at 17%. The Trinamool Congress just under 40%. If we take a look at the next graphic, this was in 2019, and this is when the BJP really started improving its performance in the Lok Sabha elections. 42 seats. The Trinamool won 22, the BJP 18. Just a 4-seat difference between them. And look at the vote share. Just a 3% gap in the vote share between the BJP and the Trinamool. So, in 2019, the BJP quite clearly had upped its game. Now, this is at the Lok Sabha level. If you take a look at the next set of graphics in Assembly, while there is an improvement in the performance of the BJP, it's not quite the same as what we saw in the Lok Sabha. But let's take a look at 2016 in the Assembly. 294 seats, remember, in total, with the Trinamool in 2016 having won 211 and the BJP just 3. So at the state level, Mamata Banerjee in 2016 completely invincible. In 2021, right, in the Assembly, 294 seats, the BJP had actually upped its number to 77 seats. Again, it's a fraction of what the Trinamool Congress ended up with. But again, it's a clear sign, even with vote share and, of course, seats, of a party growing. So let's summarize this for our viewers. Let's bring up the next graphic, which talks about the rise and the rise of the BJP. At the Lok Sabha level, look at the left of your screen, the BJP went from 2 seats to 18 seats in 2019, and in the Assembly, they went from 3 seats to 77 seats. So, Monideepa, my question to you first, is this quite clearly the biggest challenge that Mamata Banerjee has faced from the BJP in the last several elections?
Well, certainly it's a huge challenge, and in 2019 it was a very unexpected outcome. Mamata Banerjee, I still remember her face the day the results came out. She just refused to believe that the BJP could have won 18 seats and the Trinamool's tally was down from 34 to 22. But since 2019, given the 2021 experience, and also we tend to forget the 2023 Panchayat election experience, given that Mamata is probably better prepared today to take on the challenge from the BJP than she was in 2019. Certainly a huge challenge that has happened. However, there is one thing, perhaps Riju can confirm this or correct me on this, but I do believe that in North Bengal, which is where Mamata Banerjee and the Prime Minister were today, in North Bengal, the Trinamool believes it has made a little bit of a comeback. Remember, in 2019, out of 8 seats in North Bengal, the BJP had swept 7, and the Trinamool had not got a single seat in 8 seats that comprise North Bengal. But since then, in 2023, I understand from some statistics that I have that the Trinamool has improved its situation in the Panchayat level up in North Bengal. So perhaps they're a little more hopeful. So I don't know if you want to completely describe this as the ultimate BJP challenge for Trinamool Congress, but definitely a big challenge. But, remember that rider, this time Mamata Banerjee is prepared.
Okay. Nishtab, one more set of graphics. the BJP's rising vote share, and I'll ask you to comment on that. So let's bring up graphic 9 if we can. Again, 2014 at the Lok Sabha, they were at 17%. 2014, 2019, that jumped up to 40%. That was at the Lok Sabha level. At the Assembly level, from 10% in 2016 to 38% in 2021. It's not just seats, right, Nishtha? It's also vote share, which is clearly linked with their relative popularity. Could you account for the growth of the BJP in the last few elections in Bengal?
Right. And I think, Vishnu, this brings me to my favorite topic, which is lambasting the Indian opposition since 2014. So when we talk about rising vote share of the BJP, anywhere in the country where it wasn't at an impressive level pre-2014, I think the credit solely goes to the incompetence of opposition. So here you have to see that the BJP's vote share has not dented the TMC as significantly as it ended up decimating the other parties in West Bengal. Right. So it is actually very interesting to see that Mamata Banerjee has decided that, okay, I do not want to have anything to do with other parties in India, INDIA, the bloc, the opposition bloc, and I'm going to go solo because these guys are going to pull me down. And come to think of it, this particular vote share rise for the BJP, whether it is in West Bengal or Uttar Pradesh or other states, it actually tells you the story that BJP is extremely competent and alert to acquiring any space that has been vacated by an incompetent party. Trinamool Congress is the only competent party in the country. If you leave the parties down south where the BJP has not been able to make a significant or even an insignificant sort of dent as yet, it is the only party that has a cadre that can match the BJP in zeal, in this do or die attitude, or the Samdam Dandabhed, which has now become par for the course for the Indian elections, for better or for worse. So the story that this rising vote share tells me is that apart from Mamata Banerjee, there is no credible opposition really to the BJP.
Sure. Monadipa, if I was to ask you, in terms of the dominant themes in Bengal, it appears quite clearly CAA is one of them, CAA/NRC. Sandesh Khali is another one. We'll be talking about that in length in a little while from now. And then, of course, there's the entire issue of corruption. In your mind, is any one issue, because corruption absolutely linked with the BJP's allegations against the Trinamool Congress, for right or for wrong. Would you say that, which one of these would you say, is the supreme sort of issue as we go into these polls?
Actually, I was just studying some figures and talking to people, and I think, it might sound the easy way out, but I do feel that, normally we say that corruption is no longer a political issue, corruption is no longer a vote issue, and so on. But what is being explained to me is that this time round, corruption could be a major factor, perhaps even more significant than Sandesh Khali or CAA in making up the voters' mind. Because this time round, there's something different about the kind of corruption that has been alleged, sometimes exposed. remember the picture of Partho Chatterjee's flat, or his friend's flat, where
with
you
all
saw
that cash,
mound of cash. And that's something nobody had seen at that time. I believe now we have seen some in Jharkhand, but we had seen nothing like this. And the Bengali prides himself and herself as being non-corrupt and not easy to bribe. So suddenly having a minister's girlfriend's home spilling out this mound of cash, that picture definitely has had.
And Monadipa, you and I have been doing elections for and politics for so many years. I have never seen imagery like that.
Exactly.
The amount of money, you come across suitcases of cash or a cupboard, but a large part of a home, it's all on television.
Nirav Modi, it's 1,200 crore rupees, but it's just a number. but suddenly you have 50 crore rupees lying on the floor of somebody's flat in a dingy flat in North Kolkata. It's a shocker. So that has an impact. Then say the education recruitment issue, the recruitment scam as it is called. You know, people are not getting jobs that they feel that they deserve. They have been out on the streets protesting. And who are these people? They are people, who are out there in the districts and villages who feel that they have earned the right to a job, but have been denied it because of corruption by the TMC, allegedly. And therefore, that anger is also there. There are little stories going around about how young women and men in Bengal are very upset. I mean, you ask the men and they'll say, we don't have a job, we can't even get married. And young women will say that, we don't have a job, the men don't have a job, how on earth are we going to get married? So it is touching the social fabric, the whole corruption issue. And though, pundits say corruption is not really an election issue in this country anymore, this time round, perhaps they'll be proved wrong, and it will be one of the most important issues in the 2024 elections.
Riju, let me take that to you, because what the Prime Minister said, and I've got that a quote of the Prime Minister. He said, I'm saying remove corruption. The opposition is saying save the corrupt. I will ensure the corrupt are punished and the poor get justice. In the next 5 years, more stringent action will be taken against the corrupt. And I think he said something even stronger, saying, a lot of people would be behind bars for the rest of their lives. The point is, at a time when there is so much criticism of the BJP or of the centre for targeting the opposition or allegedly targeting the opposition through the ED, etc., the Prime Minister appears to be absolutely clear that he will continue, or the government agencies will continue hitting out against corruption, and obviously referring to the Trinamool Congress. How would you respond?
Basically, you have to read between the lines of what the Prime Minister said. Yes, actions will be taken against the opposition and all the corrupt. Either you go to jail or join BJP. So it is very clear, and that is what has been happening throughout the country. But I want to make a statement now on NDTV. And I'm making this statement as the national spokesperson of Trinamool Congress. I have said this on multiple conclaves in New Delhi, and I'm saying this with all due respect to all the pundits, senior journalists and everybody. Today, BJP in Bengal stands far more debilitated than they have been ever before. And in 2024 general elections, whatever seats, and save this NDTV, whatever seats BJP is going to get, Trinamool Congress will get at least double of that. And I'm saying this on record.
Shotrupa, would you like to reply to that?
Definitely. Firstly, I'd like to respond half a line to what Nishtha said, that Trinamool is the only viable opposition. Maybe, but then one has to understand that they're not really an all-India party which they claim to be. They're kind of, confined to Bengal, and they should remain there and they shall diminish. And I'm very glad that Riju has, got this newfound talent of predicting the future. All the best to him. But Vishnu, coming back to your question, what you asked, Monidipadi, corruption is going to be a big issue here. And I'm saying this as a woman, it will probably be a more important issue than what has happened in Shamishkali, although the same issue is happening all over Bengal. I mean, the harassment of women. Corruption is not only in Bengal, it's not only in terms of numbers. It's a visual impact. The visual impact of so much of cash coming out, people of Bengal were, in awe of the number of machines coming in and the money being counted. And we have 4 sitting ministers who are in jail, along with their cronies, and then the number keeps adding. The only question that people ask us, we who represent BJP, that when are you arresting Haipu? As if we are sitting to wait and arrest, we are running CBI.
All right, so you refer to the issue of corruption. I get the point that you're making.